Yeah, I think it's fair to say that wokeness has literally destroyed the economy and may take down the world with it. We have the story from the Daily Mail, an outstanding ESG rating, but no chief risk operator. Silicon Valley Bank hired woke board obsessed with diversity, invested $5 billion for healthier planet, and held month-long pride celebration, but failed to spot glaring problems with investments. Yep. Can't say that anybody's surprised. I went over this a bit in the previous segment, but now we have a story basically breaking down how wokeness destroyed the global economy, and maybe it's a good thing. You know, I'm sure we over at Timcast can write the article, "Wokeness has destroyed the economy. Here's why that's a good thing." Well, look, it sucks the economy may get destroyed by this. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I do know that they're coming out and saying it's a good thing that Joe Biden finally woke up at 9 a.m. Check out this clip.
And that's what people need to hear.
Nope, sorry, I gotta make sure I fix the audio because I always have the audio switched so I can listen to music.
Now, it's important to note, President Biden does nothing at 9 a.m. He is a night owl. So the fact that he is doing this at 9 a.m. anyway speaks to how vital the White House recognizes it is for him to have his voice out there, conveying that to the American public.
Okay, let's put it simply. Joe Biden never gets up at 9 a.m. and decided to today because there's a run in the banks, they may be collapsing, stocks are tanking, and the bond market is predicting the system is imploding right now. I certainly hope none of that's true. There are a lot of people in media who are going to want you to believe the end is nigh because it's shocking and it makes money. There are a lot of people in media who are going to tell you everything is fine, everything's fine. Just go out and go shopping and don't worry about it because they don't want you to panic, which could screw with their money. I honestly don't know which way it could go. And there's a million and one arguments. I can only tell you that it's happening. Now, the fact that Joe Biden got up super early in the morning to talk about this says to me that it really is shocking. And the media is probably going to lie to you about how important this moment is. I don't want to be... See, I know a lot of people watch these videos, and I don't want to go out and be like the end is nigh and then cause a panic. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am not particularly confident in this. And anybody who has ever watched any of my videos pertaining to the economy and where we're heading, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Tim Pool, once again, he's got a negative view of what's happening. Yeah, sorry, that's just me. It's one of the reasons I bought crypto. It's one of the reasons I got out of these cities. But let's talk about how wokeness specifically may have destroyed the global economy. And the reason I said before that it's a good thing is because this could actually destroy wokeness. When all these companies collapse, it's the woke ones that go first. And the meritocratic institutions will probably get hurt pretty bad, but in the long run, probably survive. ESG, environmental social governance. You cannot run businesses on good feelings and positive vibes. It doesn't work. And eventually they'll implode. So here we are. The Daily Mail says, executives at Silicon Valley Bank focused on woke initiatives to increase diversity amongst its ranks and invest in startups promoting a healthier planet, but failed to spot its glaring problems with investments as interest rates rose. The now failed bank had an A rating for its ESG policies, according to MSCI. Run for the hills. I got to get a baseball bat and get a wide angle so I can get up and like smash bottles and be like, the ESG companies are not sound investments. If you have money in any company that has a high ESG rating, they are screaming in your face. They prioritize their religion over running their business. Now, hold on there a minute, my friends. I don't care if somebody is religious and runs a business. You just got to understand that if you have a burger chain, and instead of selling burgers, you start preaching the Bible, people might stop coming for burgers. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some Sweet Frog. You guys know about Sweet Frog? The frozen yogurt shop. And Frog stands for fully rely on God. Here's the best part. I walk into Sweet Frog and they have on their wall, fully rely on God, Frog. No joke. That's what it says. Not all locations show that, but some do. It ain't no bother to me. I walk over, fill up my yogurt, throw some cookie dough on it, and I'm good to go. You can preach. You can have your business, but just to make sure your business works. What's happening with these ESG companies, it's like you walk into a yogurt shop and you walk up to the yogurt pump, and instead, when you pull the lever down, it starts playing you a diversity training manual. And it's like, do you know why we have more women on our board? And you're like, where's the yogurt, man? People leave. They're not going to stick around. This is what's happening with all these companies. They did not have a chief risk operator. So here's my view. Here's what I think happens. SVB probably made a lot of sense in the early days. As the cult started to drill its way into the brains of these human beings who are too psychotic and stupid to realize what was happening, they start shifting the focus of the business into investing in companies that are full of a bunch of psychotic cult members. That's what institutional capture does. But guess what? Woke companies don't make money. You ever watch that episode of South Park where Cartman wants to get rid of all the hippies? They arrest him and they go to him and they're like, we're having a music festival, Cartman. Why are you trying to stop it? And he goes, because the hippies are bad and they're going to cause problems. And they're like, they're going to bring a lot of money. And he goes, hippies don't have money. It was really funny because Cartman's kind of a bad dude. Then they drill their way through the crowd to the center of the hippie festival. The point is, woke, you go to there's going to be a woke guy, a woke lady, and they're going to be like, I want to do a company that's like all about diversity and we sell crystal balls. And you're going to be like, wow. And how much money do you plan to make from selling your crystal balls? And they go, well, I think after we spend about $100 million in marketing diversity initiatives, people will really want to buy. What were we talking about again? SVB then says, here's money. I'm not saying another for sure. I'm saying if this is an A+, an A-rated ESG company making investments, I would not be surprised if it turns out they were investing in crackpot cult members or cowards. Now, what happens if you ask a coward to lead a battalion in a battlefield? It ain't going to work out, right? You need someone of sound mind and body who's willing to be there, make tough decisions. So someone comes to you and says, I need $500,000 for my startup. And they go, okay, well, tell us about it. And the person there is going, I better not say anything that would offend them. I'm so scared that if I say the wrong words, then I won't get my loan. And so this person can't run a company. Or you get a cult member being like, my business is great. We are all about diversity. Here's your investment. And then what happens when it's like, come time to pay the bills? Well, we don't make money. We just preach diversity. Well, how are we going to pay that money back? You're not. Welcome to the modern American era. They say for 8 months last year, they had no chief risk operator. Then when the Federal Reserve increased interest rates, the value of SVB's assets fell while customers tried to withdraw their money. Now, many are slamming the financial institution for focusing too much on woke policies and not enough on its investments. It probably invested in trash, mind you. It said in its 2022 ESG report, the bank strives to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Well, as an investor, I'm wondering if that's what I want for my investment. Or do I want a functioning product that does well? And good. I was going to say does good, but that's not proper grammar. But then actually it is in this circumstance. Look, man, I want a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Well, maybe not equitable, equal opportunity. But you come to me and you say, Tesla, electric cars. Here's our plan to reduce carbon emissions. The energy generated for these vehicles, a portion of it comes from sources like geothermal, hydro, and wind and solar. A lot of it does come from fossil fuel, natural gas, but the carbon on natural gas it's relatively low. It's neutral, I believe. And then for the renewables is neutral, but there will be some carbon. Plus, we've got to manufacture the vehicles. All in all, it reduces carbon. I say, okay, sounds good to me. They're good cars. That sounds like an investment into a product that makes sense. It's easier for you. Look, I got a Tesla. I don't got to go to the gas station. It's actually fairly great. So for all of my regional commuting, like even within like a couple hours driving, it's actually pretty awesome. And then sometimes we want to drive 3 hours to take the gas car. There's a good reason for it. But so I think that makes sense. What if you invested in a company that said, we're going to manufacture diversity widgets that go around? I'm like, well, to be honest, with all the cult members in schools, it might actually make a good profit. The problem is the people running it don't want to make a profit, so they're going to burn it to the ground. Here's what I want to say about all this. In the event this turns out to be a bunch of hubbub and we pull through this with no problem, I'm not entirely convinced considering Biden gets up at 9 in.the morning and says, everything's fine. Okay, assuming everything is fine, I would only advise anybody dump any hold on. I will not advise anybody of anything. Sorry, have a nice day. I would ask a financial advisor, because do not take financial advice from me. You see how that works. I would ask a financial advisor if it makes sense to have investments in ESG companies. And I will tell you personally, none of this, first I will say again, nothing in this video constitutes financial advice, and you've got no financial advice from me because I have no idea what's going on. I don't even know, I'm not a financial guy. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will not have any money in any ESG company. I don't have that much stock as it is, but I'm going to go through any company that has an ESG positive rating, I am going to pull money out of. And any company with a negative ESG, I'll probably invest in. You see how that works? It's not a one for one. A company might have a negative ESG because they really are bad, you know. But we'll see, my friends. Again, no financial advice from me. I don't know. But I am genuinely concerned that wokeness has just destroyed the global economy. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.